Today I'm going to show you how to cut a pineapple. All you'll really need is a rigid knife, and you want to make sure the knife is extremely rigid because it's really hard to cut through the skin. The first thing you're going to do is cut off the top. And you want to leave just a little bit, enough so this inside part is completely detached. Then you want to cut along the sides, but then in a curved shape so you can reach all the way to the bottom. And you want to make sure these cuts are thick, because as you see, if they're thin, this is what's going to happen, and these parts are what actually makes your tongue itch when you eat a pineapple. So if you make it a little thicker like this, you'll see there's none of these pines left. You can go in and later remove the pines, but to save yourself some work, you can just peel it off like that. So now you go all the way around. And that's really it. And then you can cut off the bottom part, as you can see here. And now you can go back around and trim any extra pieces that you might have. Some people do this with like a smaller knife, so they can save more of the flesh. Some people just peel it off like so. Like, you can still eat around this. So I like to keep these on the side, and maybe sometimes I put them in water and make pineapple water, or many different things. Also, if you're going to cut your pineapple in a certain way, this is the time where you can shape your pineapple however you wish. So for example, okay, I think that's everything. It's most of it. For example, if you wanted to make star-shaped pineapples or octagon-shaped or whatever, you have basically a mold here, and you can shape it any way that you want to. But for right now, I'm going to, usually I rinse this just to get all the extra sticky stuff off. But for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna cut it. Usually I personally like to cut it in half because this middle part is really hard and it's actually not the tastiest part. But if I cut it in half like this, I can either dig out the stem, which some people would consider a waste, or I can just chop it up like so. So I'll chop it in quarters, and then chop them up in little triangles like this. Now these are the bigger chunks. These are the standard way to cut pineapples in my opinion. But you can cut it literally in any way that you want. You see, like that. So these you can dice them smaller, you can dice them extremely small, you can leave them as is. I like to store them in these little containers. So I'll put them right in here. And these last in the fridge, I would say about a week. If you freeze them, they can last, I don't know, like a really long time. But there you go. And put the cap on like this. These containers you can get on Amazon. I love storing my fruit in these. I just love it. So another way that you can cut your pineapple is in slices. You want to make sure your slices are even, and you also want to make sure you're cutting all the way, because sometimes you can cut and then this part would stay connected, and you don't really realize that until after, when you go to pull one apart and it's connected to all of the other ones. Just like that. And this I like to add on fruit plates. I also rinse this maybe a second time because of all the juices that's gonna fall out. Sometimes I even use a paper towel. but I might place it on a tray. Oops. Uh-oh. See, there's a lot of juices on here. But I might place it on a tray like so, and then just move them opposite like this. Spread them apart. And then like this, I can just literally add it to a table without having to do much. And you can also add a bunch of other fruits if you want, but for pineapple lovers, I think this should be suffice. Maybe even make this go this way. There we go. It's so much cuter. And that's really it. So there you go. You have a full plate of delicious fresh pineapples.